Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the 19th day of November, 2024. You believe that we're coming into the holiday season already? The Knicks have played 14 games. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family is safe and healthy. And I hope that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, beside the first responders who every day are out here trying their best to save lives, and those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography and child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on all those who profit from these things. And double curses on all the perverts that create the demands that create these industries. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and veterans homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game last night. The New York Knicks destroyed the Washington Wizards 134 to 106. The Knicks completely outclassed them. It's clear that the Knicks are one of the top teams in the East, having, put it this way, in the 14 games that the Knicks have played, 4 of their 8 wins have been 20 or more points. In the 6 losses that they have had, only one of those losses was 20 or more points. That was to the Boston Celtics, as we know, on opening night, when Boston shot an unreal and ridiculous percentage from the three-point line, which we don't expect to happen often. But what I'm saying is the Knicks are a tough out, even given their current injury situation. Speaking of that, Deuce McBride should be back. Tom Thibodeau, I listened to his daily conference with the reporters, and they asked him about Deuce, among other things. But when they asked him about Deuce, he said he just wants to make sure that this is not a lingering issue, that it could be healed, that Deuce would be strong, that we have to worry about it. And that's thinking ahead, thinking to the road trip getting ready to take place, the 6-game or 5-game road trip they're getting ready to undergo starting Wednesday in Phoenix. Now, right now, the Knicks are in the 4th seed of the East after 14 games. They have the second best differential in the Eastern Conference, 5.8, behind Cleveland, who's the top at 12.3, and of course Boston, 10.2. The thing is, Orlando is playing, like, the Knicks have a very difficult schedule, as we know, as we talked about the early season schedule. Not the whole season, but the early part of this season, the Knicks have one of the toughest schedules. The other team that has a very tough schedule in the early part of the season is the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic are also on the road right now, and they are playing 4 games in 5 nights. They just beat Phoenix last night. Then they play the Clippers Wednesday, followed by the Lakers, which is a back-to-back that's different from most back-to-backs, because they stay in Los Angeles and they just played 2 nights in a row in the same city. So they play the Clippers in LA at the whatever the Coliseum name is on Wednesday. Then they stay there and come back to the next day and play the Lakers. And then they finish their trip. I think it's Saturday night. They play on Saturday night, and I forgot who they play. Let me just see who they play on Saturday night. But they play on Saturday night, and that's going to be their 4th game in 5 nights, which is a difficult schedule for anybody. So I guess, and then wait, on top of that, let's see, Saturday night they play Detroit. They play Detroit back in Orlando on Saturday night. Now, Detroit ain't no pushover. Detroit was a pushover, but they ain't no more. Detroit can ball. And Detroit is 7-9 right now. I don't know how long it took them last year. It's been a minute since we've been before Thanksgiving, and they already got 7 wins. Put it that way. But Orlando is missing Wendell Carter, who is probably a junior player in Anthony Ambulance School. I mean, he gets hurt quite a bit, and his time is his foot, which is sensitive. And then, of course, they're without their top gun, Paulo Banchero, who has a torn oblique on the right side of his stomach. He's torn his oblique, and that got to heal. You can't, it's a torn muscle. So he's got to wait. He's going to be out. Now, they did well last night beating Phoenix. Phoenix, though, is without Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. And they're starting 2 rookies, Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodala. They're starting both of those because they're shorthanded. So what I'm saying is this gives the Knicks a chance to catch up in the East this week. Because, like I said, Orlando's got a back-to-back on Wednesday and Thursday, and then they come back to Orlando on Saturday to play Detroit at 7 o'clock, and then they travel to Charlotte on Monday. So their schedule is kind of tough. I'm thinking they go 2-2 on this road trip, but I'm thinking the Knicks have a chance to do better and catch up. The Knicks only have a game behind them, so I think the Knicks could catch them in this next stretch and take over the 3rd spot in the East. It's going to be, as usual, it's going to be jockeying for position, a dogfight in the East. It's going to be like that all year long. And, even though right now, Cleveland, obviously 15-0 is the class of the East right now, with Boston, of course, right behind the defending champion. It ain't going to remain like this all year. They're going to come back down to earth. And again, they got to play each other tonight. And somebody's going to lose. So they got to play each other tonight, and no team going 82-0. But Cleveland is on a hot streak. There's no doubt. And when a team that good is on a streak, sometimes you just win games because the ball falls your way, because that's just how it's going. But let me tell you something. It goes the other way too. So don't worry. It's like a 100-meter race, and somebody jumped out to the lead, but then you start seeing everybody else catch them. That's what's going to happen here. So this week, the Knicks have a chance to take over the 3rd spot in East, but it's going to be a battle. I still expect the Knicks to finish with 55-plus wins and to finish 2nd in the East. I know it sounds crazy, but this is early in the season. Right now, we're going to get Deuce McBride back. Tom Thibodeau said something again yesterday when he was asked about Precious. He asked, is Precious going to be on a road trip with you? Now, Precious been on a road trip with the Knicks. He was on the last road trip with the Knicks. Why wouldn't he be on a road trip? But then Tom said, well, I'll address that tomorrow, which indicates to me he wouldn't tell if Precious was ready. He wouldn't say anything until Precious is ready to step on the court. I have a feeling we're close to a Precious sighting. So we get Precious with Deuce. And Cam Payne is playing very, very good basketball right now, as y'all saw last night. Cam Payne had at least 3 3-pointers. Let me see. I think he had more than that. Cam Payne last night, he took this brother up. Cameron Payne had 5 3-pointers last night, plus 19. Now, a lot of it was garbage time, but this is the type of game, a Washington Wizards game, to get right for a player to get his rhythm. Jalen Brunson did the same thing. He got his rhythm. He had 11 assists, 26 points, 9 of 15 from the field. Now, that's more like the Jalen Brunson we know and love. He has not been shooting the ball that well. 5 of 9 from 3. This is the Jalen Brunson. And so a game like last night is a game for a team and for players to get themselves right. And they did. And so Payne played well. Of course, all the starters played well. Of course, there was a problem. Somebody might ask, I saw last night where I know a lot of knuckleheads are going, why did, with such a big lead, why did Tibbs put the starters back in the game? Tibbs took the starters out with 8 minutes and 31 seconds left in the game. And the Knicks were up by 30. They might have been up by 30, 31, something to that effect. So they were up by 30-31, and it was 8 minutes something left in the game, and Washington only had 81 points, okay, and going into the 4th quarter. Now, two things you must understand. Tibbs is really into keeping teams under 100 points. Any defensive coach, like where offensive coaches are looking to score, 120, 130 points, defensive coaches want to hold the opposing teams under 100 points, which is why I'm always talking about how defense wins championship, because it's that latter thing, keeping people under 100 to help you win. So here, you got 8 minutes something left. They only had 81 points. You're like, okay, I'm gonna put my youngins in there. They should know how to play some defense. And they didn't. They did not. And the Wizards started coming back. It wasn't like the Wizards were gonna win the game. But that's the problem. That's a problem. And he was mad because this is the thing. He wants all the time defense. He put the youngins in there, and they looked lost. I mean, Porty looked lost. Matt Ryan, I mean, he's not a young. Daddy A, they just couldn't, they didn't have it, okay? Kolick, he still can't play defense, but he wasn't the worst one looking out there. I'll give it to him like that. He was still -1, but that wasn't, I mean, he wasn't getting beat off the dribble. Generally, Kolick is terrible in two areas. Anybody with two legs in the league could beat him off the dribble. And then number two, because it's the league, he easily, like most rookies, he gets turned around, and before he knows what happened, the basket's already in. So last night he was better at both of those areas, but as a unit, they stunk. And of course, then all of a sudden, the lead was down to 20-something, early, young, like 22, 23, and Tibbs started putting his starters back in. He didn't want to, and you could tell he was very upset. First, he put Josh Hart, hoping that could change things. Then he put back OG. That's when I knew there was problem. He put OG back in the game, and then all of a sudden all the stars were back, and they closed out the game. And that's why I tell y'all, some of y'all pushing for some of these youngins thinking they're gonna get rotation minutes don't know pro basketball. They ain't ready, and they ain't gonna be ready until next year, and that's being optimistic. Like I said, this is the thing about youngins too that many of y'all don't understand. This ain't high school. Seriously, this ain't high school, this ain't AAU, this ain't college. This is the league. And the thing about the league is you got to be consistent. Not only do you have to be on top of your game, you got to be on top of your game consistent. Okay? So let's take Jalen Brunson. He's been shooting the ball horribly before last night. But if they didn't double team him and put guys twice his size on him, he would have been averaging 30. He'll kill you. You just have to make this adjustment to make sure you put him in some sort of check, right? Same with Gato. You mess around with Gato and put some weak dude on him, he gonna get 40 on you. And it could be any night. He could have a stomach flu. He gonna get 40 on you. Because they're consistent. No matter what happens, if you don't check them, they're gonna come at you. Okay? Deuce McBride. If you got to set picks for who you want, whoever he's guarding, because he will lock you down if you don't get a whole bunch of picks for whoever he's guarding to try to get that brother free. That's consistent. That's every night. Whether his knee is hurt, whether he's sick, he going to be on you 94 feet. That's consistent. With rookies, and I'll take Ariel Porty as an example. Porty, athletic, guards the rim, plays good defense until he doesn't. Until he gets jumped in the air because he's anticipating. Until he gets caught off guard in the offensive set. And that's where you learn, okay? And this is what people don't understand. I keep getting these knuckleheads, give them a chance. No, we're trying to win games. That kind of crap, if it's in crunch time, will cost you a game, okay? And let's say, for example, the Knicks are right now half a game from Orlando. Let's say they're in a tight game, and you got Porty out there. And he gets crossed up on an offensive set, and they score at crunch time, and you lose the game. That's kind of crap that happens, okay? And especially in the league, a guy like Kolick. Look at how, against the Nets, the Knicks exploited Cam Johnson. They exploited him by using Obi as the grown-ass man. So Obi would put this boy on the block and just jump over him and either lay it up or dunk on him because they exploited him. A guy like a Kolek, if you're talking about a rookie that's still learning, that ain't consistent yet, they'll hunt that person like the way cheetahs hunt the weak deer. Okay? That's how they do it. This is the league. So that's why you got to get the rookies. They're cutting their teeth in the G League because it ain't going to cost you no games. See, like we're getting ready to play Phoenix. You're going to see 2 rookies, Ryan Dunn and also Iguodala. That alone tells you Phoenix is in trouble. Okay? That's why I say consistently that the big three template is out. It's played out. That don't work no more. Because now you got Phoenix, they're paying at least, I'm going to say at least half their team salary. It might be more. It's at least half their team salary in Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. Bradley Beal is in the Anthony Ambulance School. Kevin Durant is long in the tooth. He's still a great player, but he's long in the tooth. And then you still got Devin Booker, who's using his prime to try to keep this whole thing afloat. Okay? And so you ain't got enough money to go sign the ancillary pieces that you need, which is why you got to depend on rookies, which is why you're in trouble. Now, look at the Knicks. The Knicks just paid, they just paid $200 million, or they signed OG Anunoby $212 million. Big contract. But then they already got Mikal Bridges on $90 million. They already got Karl Anthony Towns. He's on a $200 million. But then you got Jalen Brunson on $150 million. And then you got Josh Hart on $12 million a year. Then your bench, you got Deuce McBride, who signed a 3-year, $13 million contract. And there were people thinking this summer because they drafted Tyler Kolek that all of a sudden Deuce is going to be traded. There were. Some of y'all know who you are. And I thought that was one of the, not only because I'm Deuce high, but you don't take a defensive player that could shoot like Deuce McBride, that you're only got to pay $4 million to, and trade that. And then some idiots were talking about Marcus Smart. Do y'all remember this? This was recent. Marcus Smart, who makes like $60 million. That's what I'm saying. So this is how you put a team together, though. So you got a $4 million Deuce McBride. That could be all NBA defense this year. And in the running for $6 million a year. Okay? You got Precious Achiuwa, who you paying $6 million to. That's how you build a team. Okay? That's how you build a team. And then you still got Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, probably, again, top 5 offensive rebounders in the game. Probably top 3. $14 million this year. Okay? That's how you build a team. So, with the rookies, Phoenix is dependent on 2 rookies to not only to help them win, but to play defense. One of the toughest things to learn in the NBA is defense. Okay? When you get 2 kids like this, really they deserve to be coming off somebody's bench like Deuce did, because they already know how to play NBA level defense. But you're dependent on them to try to go all the way, Phoenix got a problem. Okay? And the Knicks do not. Because the Knicks got their top 8. And they're going to train their youngins so that in a couple of seasons, they'll be ready. About 2 years, Kolek going to be good. About 2 years, you're going to still have Brunson. You're going to have Deuce. And instead of Payne and Shamet, you're going to have Kolek. And they're going to be dynamite. They're not ready now. But he's going to be dynamite. At that time, when you got Kolek with Deuce and Brunson, they're going to be dynamite. Okay? 2 years from now, Deuce is 26. 2 years from Deuce is 26. Brunson 30. And Kolek will be 25. And they'll be ready to ball 2 years from now. Okay? The same with Hoop Party. 2 years from now, yeah, you're going to have something. You really are. You're not going to have a problem 2 years from now. You're going to probably, hopefully, we still have Precious. We still have Mitch Rob. But Hoop Party could be starting in 2 years. Okay? Or he could be coming behind Gato, because Gato's 29 now. He'll be 31 then. You know, but don't push them before they're ready, because it's going to cost you games when you're trying to win a championship. And this is where we're at right now. So right now, the Knicks are in a situation where we're in a position to go get this chip. Right now, early season, we're 4th in the East, but I expect that we're going to move up. Our guys are coming back, your Preciouses, your Deuces, hopefully your Shamits. But even if Shamit doesn't come back, which I think he will, some people forgot how good Landry Shamit is. But that's all right. He's going to show y'all when he comes back. But Payne is more than adequate. And then last night, did y'all see the defense? Did any of y'all pay attention to the defense that Jericho Sims was playing last night? He only scored 7 points. He got 7 boards, but he was plus 13. That's why he starts. Okay, that's why he starts. When Gato can't, that's why he starts. That's why he's behind. And Sims is better than Hukporti right now. Hukporti is going to be better, but today you play Jericho Sims, and then that goes to show you though, when Mitch Rob gets back, he takes all 8 minutes, because that's Mitch Rob. But for now, we got Precious coming back. We got Sims. We got Deuce. We're going to have hopefully Shamit, and we got Payne. You get them even without Shamit right now. Let's say Shamit's going to take another couple weeks. But the 4 that I named, Payne, Deuce, Precious, Sims, with the starting 5 that they got, we ready for Freddie, y'all. See? And so I'm hoping to see Precious this week. I'm really looking for him now. I was looking for him Thanksgiving, but I'm looking for him hopefully by Utah on the weekend. That would be nice. Okay, that would be nice. I think we're going to see him because we get Phoenix on Wednesday, and then they got 3 days, and that's practice time. You know, Precious get back into practice, and I think he's already shown some Instagram pictures of him at practice, but he probably not clear for contact yet. But I think that's getting ready to change. And when you get Precious Achiuwa back in there, Charles Oakley 2.0, we're going to be ready for Freddie. So the Knicks are going into this road trip in a very good position, 8-6. 4-game road trip is never easy, but it's a 5-game road trip. But you got Phoenix, who's a little weak right now. Then you got Utah on. They got Utah or Denver, one of them on Saturday. Now that ain't gonna be no easy game. That ain't gonna be no easy game. There's no doubt about it. It ain't gonna be no easy game. They play, Phoenix, then Utah, then Denver on Monday, then Dallas, which is gonna be very tough. At Dallas next week Wednesday on ES or BSPN. So it's not gonna be an easy trip. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna say really, if I'm gonna be realistic about it, I think it would be good to come out 2-3, but I get a feeling the Knicks gonna come out at least 3-2 from this road trip. I think they're gonna come out 3-2 because, especially like I said, we getting Deuce and Precious back. The Knicks are already one of the top teams in the East, in the league, but we've been hurt, and now we getting our guys back. So I think a 3-2 record would be a good expectation for this road trip. 3-2 record would be good, which would make the Knicks 11-8 when they're done. 11-8. We'll take it for now. With all the injuries we had, we'll take it for now. Then we go from there. Okay? Because early December, the Knicks got a 4-game homestand. Okay, we'll see what happens. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday. So